I was really hoping that my experimental heat riser in the rocket mass heater was going to make it through the winter, but by looking at the black smoke pouring out of the chimney, it was fairly evident that something has failed. Looking in the burn chamber, it was still burning nice and clean, so something inside was the problem. After letting the system cool for a day, I decided to perform an autopsy on the beast. The radiator that was on top of the barrel was running great until the pump running water through it lost power. All the water boiled out of it, and I didn't notice that the little plastic drain cap had melted. The next time I ran it, water dripped out of the cap and covered the top of the barrel. I believe this is what caused most of the flaking on the barrel lid, but it still seems solid. After removing the barrel, the outer section of the chimney is still in really good condition and shows no signs of rot. Along the top, the rock wool insulation has settled a bit and is coated with some fine ash. Looking inside the barrel, you can see the blast spot along the lid and black soot buildup around the rest of it. I believe the soot is mostly from whatever is causing the black smoke. Previously, I had removed the barrel for inspection and it was clean. Looking down inside the heat riser, the stovepipe is completely gone. I know I pulled out a few small pieces of pipe, but it definitely wasn't 5.5 feet worth. When I removed the outer section of the heat riser, you can see the base where the rock wool has completely melted away and the flames eventually blasted a hole through the outer section of metal. The remaining rock wool has become somewhat brittle and breaks away easily, which is a far contrast to what it originally looked like. I looked up the specs for this material and it's rated for 2000 degrees. This piece must have been directly in the blast zone since it's essentially now a solid piece of rock. Taking a look at the outer section of the heat riser, the hole blew through right above the exhaust pipe in the floor, so a lot of the heat was going right out through the horizontal vent in the floor instead of radiating out of the barrel. Inside the base area, I had used some chimney mortar to fill a few voids. There isn't much left to this either. Most of the 100-year-old clay bricks held together fairly well, but a few did have some fractures in them. The outer section that supports the barrel, which is just concrete bricks, held out really well and won't need to be replaced. Overall, there is very little ash within the system, and the ash pit is mainly filled with debris from the heat riser. Since I only have another 4 to 6 weeks left for the heating season, I decided to rebuild the heat riser with some of my spare concrete bricks. I have a new heat riser design I've been working on for next season and didn't want to invest in fire bricks. In hindsight, this may have been a really bad idea since it's the burning concrete that is causing the black smoke. We'll see you next season, hopefully with a new design. Thanks for watching.